Speaking to President Macron, on the matter of you wanting to send air support and missiles to help Ukraine against Russia, this is not helping to end the war. This is not helping to bring about peace. This is adding fuel to the fire to keep it going. This is adding to the misery, pain, and suffering in this world. You should do what is right and work to bring peace to this world instead of adding to the problem. You care so much for Ukraine that you sided with Ukraine against Russia. This is a big mistake. In life, no matter how much you care, you must carefully consider whether you have the right to interfere. Just because you care so much, doesn't mean can you go help them, go take their side, go support them, and go become their ally or partner. This, promoting war instead of making peace and contributing towards the taking of tens of thousands of innocent lives, is one of the biggest mistakes in the world. This is one of the greatest sins under heaven. The events of February 24, 2022, when Russia attacked Ukraine were not the root cause of the problem. The events of that day are just the tip of the problem. In any disagreement, trial, conflict, or war, one cannot use the tip to say it is the root of the problem. Problems, disagreements, conflicts, and wars always start at the root and grow upwards to the tip. When there is a fire, if you are an educated person, you must know you cannot add fuel to the fire. An educated man knows to put out a fire with water instead of adding fuel to it. Son, don't think that your actions are noble and justified and that it will end the war and bring about peace. What you are doing is contributing towards more death and destruction and more suffering in this world. Son, a good and wise person who wants to help make the world a better place does not act and behave like this. In 3 days, you will need to call on all those involved to have a ceasefire and put an end to the war. You will also give Ukraine back to Russia. Don't you know that Ukraine is not a part of your country? It did not come from anyone's country. It did not originate from anyone else's country. It was originally a part of Russia, to begin with. Ukraine exists because Russia exists. There are Ukrainians because there are Russians. If Russia doesn't exist, Ukraine wouldn't exist. If there were no Russian people, there would be no Ukrainians. Knowing this, one can say that Russia gave birth to Ukraine. Russia is the parent and Ukraine, its child. Son, the practice of trying to steal others' children by lying to them to get them to revolt and turn against their parents, to get the children to leave their parents and come to your side. To come be your children is a grievous wrong. It is one of the biggest sins in the world. Son, one should not go and try to persuade someone else's son, daughter, brothers, in-laws, and relatives to leave them and come be your family. You are an intelligent person, a good person, you should not do this. In life, when you see other families have disagreements and arguments, you should go and say to the children, those are your parents, you are the son, the daughter, the son-in-law, or you are children. You must listen to your parents. You must show respect to your parents and honor them. You must stay with them and try to work it out and stay as a family always. If your parents are in the wrong or made a mistake, if they do not behave as a good parent should and they mistreat you, abuse you, or neglect your needs in any way, we will help you with your parents. We will work with your parents to love and treat you as a parent would his child. We can only be your friend, your business partner, and help one another. We cannot replace your parents. We cannot take you away from your parents and bring you in to make you a part of our family, our relatives, and our clan. No, this we cannot do. This is wrong. This is not right. If we were to give you military aid, give you fighter planes, tanks, missiles, and other military weapons to have you turn against your parents, we would rather give you food, medical supplies, and money to help you recover. This would be so much better than military aid. Son, what is Russia? Who are they? Who are you? Why are you turning against Russia? Don't you know that you and Russia came from the same ancestors from long ago? When you turn against Russia, it's as if you are turning against your people. Would your ancestors think this is a good thing? When you turn against Russia, it's like turning against your parents. Would God say, "You did a good thing"? In turning against your parents, would He reward you and bless you with your own land and country to govern and rule over? Of all the countries in the world, if Russia isn't honorable and good, which country is honorable and good? In all the world, Russia is the most honorable and good. There is no one more honorable and kinder. In this world, there are only a few that are honorable and kind. There are only 6 to 7 countries that were blessed enough to be one of the major leaders of the world. However, 4 to 5 have already lost that privilege and distinction. Currently, 2 to 3 others are about to take that big fall as well. Son, today, you already know that France, England, Germany, and Italy, these 4 former world leaders, have already fallen from grace and no longer have much influence in world matters. They have lost that privilege and distinction for many years now. The reason for their downfall is because they made many poor choices and decisions. They made numerous mistakes. Whosoever isn't honorable and kind will fall and not have a role in world affairs. Those who act honorably and does their best to make the world a better place will slowly become world leaders and have influence in world affairs. Son, a person who looks down on those lesser than themselves, a person who sees and treats those lesser than themselves as worthless and irrelevant. A person who disregards the poor and makes them feel worthless, doesn't acknowledge them nor respect those lesser than themselves. That person will never be blessed with the honor and privilege to inherit and rule the world. A person who loves and respects those lesser than themselves, treats them with respect and kindness and values them, that person will be the one to be blessed with the honor of leading his people, his country and the world. His kindness and his name will be known to his people and to the world. A person that has just done a little good or have only contributed to the world like a grain of sand in the desert but has already gone and shouted to the world that he has done this and that already, and is so great now, is unacceptable. If you really look at it and see it for what it is, you will see that if Russia really was bad and unjust and wanted to retaliate, Russia would have done so to every one of you way early on. Russia doesn't have any bad intentions towards any of you. Russia only wants to be your friend, your partner, your brother, your family and neighbor for all eternity. As the saying goes, there is not one person who plans and goes to bully and beat up 20 to 30 people, nor for one person to plan and go step on 20 to 30 people, but there are those, that 20 to 30 people who come together to plan and go bully and step on the one person. Son, regarding heaven's blessings, God has blessed Russia the most. He has given Russia the biggest land to rule and govern. He has blessed Russia with great power and respect. God does love us quiet a bit as well, but not as much as Russia. God did not bless us with the biggest country on earth. God blessed us with a smaller land, smaller country to rule over. He did not bless us with power and respect as great as that of Russia. I ask you to open your eyes and take a good look, see clearly and think carefully. Don't act without thinking and considering all sides. The actions you take, you do so following your feelings. You never take into consideration that in life, no matter how high your position, what your title is, no matter how intelligent you are, there are things you may not know. Things you have not experienced yet. That sometimes, you can only see what's right in front of you. In life, if you are doing good, then the door is wide open for you to go out into the world and do good. If you are considering something that might be harmful to others, you must first go and find 3 elders who are wise and more experienced and consult them before you act. You must tell them what you are considering and get their advice on whether it is honorable and righteous or not. If they agree that it is the right thing to do, then you can go ahead do it. If they don't advise it, then you must not take those actions. The Savior doesn't have the education or is not as intelligent as you, but he does know a little bit. Thank you. Sincerely, Vieux Pao Xiong, the Savior. This picture indicates that your eyes can see far and wide. This includes seeing into the new world and beyond. Worlds that you can only hear about but have never seen. This picture was taken with a Thai sister in Nong Khai, Thailand. 1975, Asia. This picture was taken in the refugee camp, Ban Vinai, Thailand back in December of 1980. Delivering God's message. These pictures were taken of me and while I was working. This picture shows that in each new generation, there is a new savior. There are many differences in each generation such as cultural practices, diversity in thoughts and behaviors, fashion and jobs. This event has been discussed for 14 years to be held in Thailand, but it has not been successful. I wish to change to a new place, a new country. I wish to hold this event in a country that is more receptive. Can you open this party for me very soon 2025 to 2026? Email viewpakshing@hotmail.com. If you visit the Message of God in YouTube, enter this name. 1. The Message of God by Xiong Ka Vang. 2. Message to End War. The Savior. 3. Message to End War. View Xiong. View Pao Xiong phone. 7639107180. 175 Charles Avenue number 233. St. Paul, Minnesota, 55103 USA.